Kimberley Martin, ESPN. This is on ESPN's NFL Live, talking about the contract situation with the Browns and Amari Cooper.
So when you think about Amari Cooper, love Amari Cooper. I hated that the Dallas Cowboys gave him away for a bag of chips, but he's also going to be 30 very soon. And if you're expecting him to get a big money wide receiver deal like CeeDee Lamb, that's not going to happen. Andrew Berry talked about how smart he is. He's a shrewd businessman as well. They understand that you have a lot of pieces, a lot of guys want to get paid, and you're trying to keep it all together. Their offense clearly needs him, but as far as Amari Cooper goes, he's been so productive. He's got to be back in the fold.
And Jacob, Amari actually turned 30 a couple days ago. It's a tough one. They got to find a way to give him some guaranteed money, but not. You can't go crazy because history tells you there aren't too many productive 30-plus-year-old wide receivers.
I would say that there may be one exception to the rule, that Amari Cooper's game does translate a little bit longer, in my opinion. So I do think that he's worth it for the next couple of years. But yeah, you've got to be very aware of it. I mean, like you said, he turned 30 on Monday, and that's about the time you start to see some of that production dip. And I know he's coming off of a career high in yardage, and he's in a great position, but you did just play Jerry Jeudy. You have paid David Njoku. And the thing that's interesting with extending him is you're going to eventually come up on an extension window for Deshaun Watson. Believe it or not, we're almost already there. So I could see where the financials with potentially that and anybody else getting paid, they may have to pay Jed Wills if they want to retain him, and they've got some contracts going on. But I think Amari Cooper, a 2-year extension, I think is the sweet spot for me. I think you talked about some guaranteed money, and there's been some rumors. Brad Stainbrook over at the OBR talked about them giving him some more a raise this year as part of not giving him a super lengthy extension, but being like at a year. He kind of wants 2 years, so maybe you go up to 2 years, add some guaranteed money at the beginning of it, and kind of make it like an out year at the end, which is what they like to do with, it's how they got out of John Johnson and Austin Hooper's contracts, where, they give them a couple of years, some guaranteed money, and they get them out. And I think that's the best way for Amari Cooper, for them to handle the Amari Cooper situation. It really is probably his last chance to get paid and get paid well at 30 years old. So I understand where he's coming from, but ultimately I think they have to have him in the fold, and I think they'll find a way to make it happen.
Yeah, and to your point, Nick Cairns tweets this out, and it's a valid point. Now, Amari is the first Brown to have consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons. Cooper's 1,250 yards, most by a Brown since Josh Gordon in 2013. That was last year. Cooper's 9 touchdowns, most by a Brown since Gary Barnidge in 2015. I like Jerry Jeudy. Elijah Moore shows. There's some young guys that show promise. There is not a guy that you can say, man, I'm comfortable with beyond Amari Cooper.
Yeah, and I still have Amari Cooper as a top 10 guy at his position. And it's like, yeah, you probably don't want to give him 4 or 5 year extension, like a CeeDee Lamb style contract, like she was talking about there on NFL Live. But yeah, I just don't feel comfortable. Like, Amari's going to play this year. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would hold out. Like, training camp's going to happen. He's going to show up. He's going to take care of business. But you want to reward what he has done in Cleveland so far. And like you said, I like those other guys. I don't love them. And I love Amari Cooper. And until those other guys go out there and show me some of those things that Amari's shown me, I'm going to make sure that guy stays around a little bit. And I just think his ability to kind of, with great body control and precise route running, I just don't see it deteriorating so quickly. And coming off of some career highs last year, that 1,200, he sets the single game record from Josh Gordon. We thought that was never going to get. He did that. He was hurt. He was hurt for part of that game. You know what I mean? So it's like he's still got a lot in the tank. So I understand, yeah, maybe a little bit on the downward slide is going to start coming here somewhere. But I think for the next 2 or 3 years, you should find a way to make sure he's locked up.